do authorities believe that Tyler Robinson acted alone?
Yeah, yes, Brett. They're very confident right now. Obviously, the investigation is ongoing. They're still following every lead. We appreciate the public who has reached out, but every piece of evidence we have so far makes it very clear that the assassin acted alone.
So I saw you read from the...
As someone who quite literally had Charlie Kirk blocked on all social platforms because I simply couldn't tolerate hearing another word out of his mouth through my phone, I'm sick over some of the videos that I am seeing of people celebrating this man's assassin. And let me be clear, if you're in the comments trying to argue with me about why people should be celebrating this man's death, you're fighting with air again. We voted for the same person. Like if you're trying to argue that people should be celebrating, I know that we went to the voting booth and we voted for the same person. Okay. So you're fighting with air. We cannot be a party that advocates for gun control and reform and then be on the internet celebrating when someone that we don't agree with politically is shot in broad daylight. No. This is not grounds to be making jokes. I just saw a woman with like 600,000 followers who's also a mom sitting and being like, thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. Like, sorry, what? What? We need to be really careful about how we were talking about this. Again, have had this man blocked for like over a year. I've known peace because I haven't had to hear a single word out of his mouth. We cannot get to a place where we are so intolerant of political figures that we get up and we shoot them. I'm sorry, we've lost the fucking plot. I know I'm going to probably lose followers for this, and there's going to be people in my comments, again, trying to argue with me who...
Yes, there is something very important about this video. I'm about to show you what I've seen with Democrats on social media, even the mainstream media, is extremely concerning. We will continue to cover this topic, so you can see the truth coming out. This guy who unalived Charlie was radicalized, and Democrat can accept that. What I see now with them struggling to say, oh, this, that, it's insane. Some even goes further to, create photos of this person with Trump t-shirt. It has been debunked everywhere. Just to make a point, I don't know why they do this every time. I saw some celebrating.
It's reacting in downright horrific ways to Charlie Kirk's assassin by blaming Charlie Kirk and the conservative movement for his own murder. Just listen to Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Charlie was someone who once said, guns save lives after a school shooting. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd, downplay slavery and what Black people have gone through in this country. There are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
Complete rewriting of history.
Cruel indeed. Nauseating. And Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren shrugged off a question about the Democrats' rhetoric.
What do you say to people who are saying the Democrats need to lower their temperatures?
Oh, please. Right. Why don't you start with the President of the United States, right? And every ugly meme he has posted and every ugly word.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker went as far as to blame President Trump for Charlie Kirk's murder.
I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly, have tripped a new era of political violence.
Fomenting indeed. CBS Mornings host Nate Burleson wasted no time pointing the finger at Republicans.
Not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric. At times they were offensive to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy.
And earlier this week, MSNBC fired analyst Matthew Dowd, who grossly smeared Kirk on air after the shooting.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech. Hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
We've got to talk about like what it means when you're running for president or you're running for one of these higher offices and you go out there and you talk about beating people up. You go out there and you say things like, I could shoot somebody in the middle of the street in New York and I could still win. We got to talk about like that. That is next level. Mm-hmm. Me disagreeing with you, me calling you, I want to be hip, promote a culture of violence.
People don't have any intention of saying something that's going to lead to something dangerous, but we cannot take responsibility for the minds that are out there and how they hear it.
I believe you've sinned. This is not the right thing to say. Yes. No matter how you disagree with someone politically, there should be a way out. Yeah. They are supposed to, educate people. We have had moments of misunderstanding or, things like that. The temperature should go down, but instead, nobody is doing that. They don't want to take the blame of what they have incited in people. They are saying this. You can clearly see the mindset of these people. At a certain point, when I look at the pretense in some of these people, it clearly shows just one thing to me. They will never change. They will continue to do this.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like.
Try to prevent the spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
When you take a look at what has happened within a very short period of time, you will clearly see where this is happening. We saw the attempt on Trump's life, not once, not twice. There are even certain moments that we don't know. Not only that, there are a lot of Republicans that face this on a daily basis. Where is that coming from? From talks like this. According to this ghetto Democrat, Jasmine, everything that is happening is coming from what Trump says. I don't get it. I don't know. Then why is it that some of these people are always free? They don't face things like this? I can start naming things that have happened to Republicans within the space of 2-3 years. You'll be shocked. But they're now playing this politics here. So you can see who these people really are.
Is there too. We're also, and I'm kind of saying this to you, but also asking our team wider who's listening to flood our social media with this.
Awful. And